welcome back to the J Life. For today's episode on sports injuries, we are going to be talking about stress fractures in the foot. But before we get to that, remember to like and subscribe to the channel because we want you to not miss any of our content. So let's get into this video, and I'm going to bring in my good friend, Johan.
Hey guys, what's up?
Johan, what are you doing with your foot again?
I don't know, let's use it for later. Oh well. Let's go.
We'll get that foot later. So guys, like I said, we're talking about stress fractures in the foot. This is going to be a quick video because it's quite basic and it's not that hard to know if you've got a stress fracture. All right, so the first symptom that you are going to experience is the inability to load the foot. So you won't be able to stand on your foot. You're going to be walking like that. All right, and then second of all is that you are going to be experiencing pain at night and pain during the day. It is going to be like a kind of non-stop pain.
Constant pain, yes.
Constant pain, yeah. So, Johan, what's the common cause for a stress fracture in your foot?
Well, I'd say it's an overuse or overloading of the bone. So unlike a break, it is more, it's generated over time. So it's not blunt trauma and then the bone's broken. It's like a constant pressure on the bone, and eventually the bone can't handle the stress anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So you get like a hairline crack in the bone, and that at one point can then fracture, it can break. But so stress fracture is of repetitive impact.
Yes.
Right. So the next thing is your mechanics. So the way you run and the way you move, and this has a lot to do with the way you move your foot while you run. So there's a big correlation between pronation, and that's when your foot rotates inwards, and while you're running, you're putting a lot of pressure then the whole time on a certain part on your foot, and that's when you start getting a stress fracture. The other one is your core strength and your ability to control your knee and your hips. Okay, so all of this, if this is weak, it influences your body mechanics. So the way you're going to be running, and it's going to make that you put more pressure on a certain part of your foot as you should.
Shall we show them? Shall we show them?
I think we should show them. If you can bring it, where's the foot?
It's coming out.
Oh. Hey, there we go. So guys, this was Johan's foot from last week. The main problem was that he had a growth issue. So
too much calcium, too much. This case is not enough, but that was too much.
Yes. So talking about calcium, before I show you, tell them about bone density and why that's important in stress fractures, Johan.
If you've got a calcium deficiency, your bone density will be less, which means your bone will be a lot weaker. So if you can increase your calcium intake, that'll already help with your bone density. Okay.
Yeah, so women out there, if you are osteopenic, then this is a great thing to make sure that you don't get stress fractures, and to try and get a supplement that is going to help you to absorb more calcium so that you don't become get osteoporosis. So if you're osteopenic, you still can save it. If you get osteoporosis, it's gone too far and you can't turn it around. All right, so like we said, on the foot, the most common area is in this area right here. So that's because it's where the foot rolls over the most, and it's a very small specific spot of weight bearing the whole time. So a lot of time people get this type of pain as well if they just started doing like a lot of skipping
or stuff like that, yeah.
And they don't use shoes with proper support, and they haven't been used to it. So on that note, go watch last week's video as well about plantar fasciitis, because skipping can also cause plantar fasciitis, and what's the common feeling around how it feels to have plantar fasciitis. So go check that, come back and look at this, and then maybe you can have plantar fasciitis. But like I said, with a stress fracture in the foot, you are going to be very, very aware of where it is. You'll be able to pinpoint it precisely, and it's going to be very, very, very painful. So Johan, I'm just going to get rid of this foot. So guys, there you have it. That is a stress fracture in your foot. So there's not a lot of information for me to give to you about that, because it is quite straightforward. So if you're experiencing that pain, go see a medical expert in your area, such as a doctor, a biokineticist, or a physiotherapist. Until then,